In this session, I'm going to solve the second problem in the part B of Java lab. So let me go to the part B and let's go to the problem number 2 here. In this problem, we are supposed to create a Java program to implement class hierarchy. We are supposed to create three classes over here. The first one is the student class with the members ID and name. Second one is the student exam, which is derived out of student and which has 3 marks, that is marks in 3 subjects, as well as the total marks. And in the final, we are supposed to create a student result class, which is derived out of student exam with the members percentage and grade. Then we are supposed to define appropriate methods to accept and calculate grade based on the general criteria. Finally, we are supposed to display the details for EN students. With that, let's complete the problem. I'm going to go to the NetBeans, and in the NetBeans, I'm going to go to the File and New Project. Under this new project, I'm going to select Java application as my project. I'm going to click next. You can give any name to the project, and I'm going to say student hierarchy. Okay. You can give any other name also, small name also you can give. Let me finish it off. And once that is done, let's go to the project and let's look at where is that particular file now. Now if I go to the student and I'm going to get it a student hierarchy, this is my project that I've created, and I have just click on the plus symbol over here to expand it, and let's go to the package, and in this package student hierarchy, it has created one Java class called as student hierarchy with the static void main inside it. This is created by the NetBeans, so we are not doing anything with that. According to the university, we are supposed to create something else. And what is that we are supposed to create? Is we are supposed to create a class called as student. So I'm just copied it. You don't have the liberty of doing it during the examination. So let me go here and let me go to the package here within my project. So go to your project and just click on the plus sign. It's going to expand, and under this package, right click and then say new and then say class. If this is if the class is not visible, 99.9% that will be visible there. If it is not visible, go to the others, and under the ordinary Java, select Java class. It is one and the same. Click next. Whether you right click and do it, or whether you do it in this way, right click and then new and Java class, you will come back to this same place. Okay, you are supposed to give a name to your class. Let me say Control V to paste it. I assume that I've typed it. That is the student according to the university, and I've done the class called as class student, and we need two members there, ID and name. I'm going to take the same thing, ID and name. So I'll go here and I'm going to just paste that thing. So I will take int ID, that's the first thing, and string name. That's it. They have not said anything about this particular class, so they just said you do this. Okay, nothing else to be done. Let me go to the project again, and in the project I'm going to go over here and let me go to my project. Again, if this project is not visible, somebody has accidentally clicked on this X mark, then it will vanish from here. If it is not visible, go to this window, and the first thing that you're going to see is project. So just click on it, it will come back. Okay, with that done, let's go here and let me finish what the university has asked me to do it. So what the university said is next part is you are supposed to create a student exam. I have the liberty of copying it because I have the PDF with me. During your examination, you may not get that liberty. So you will have to type it. What are you going to do? First click on this package, right click on this package, say new, and then say Java class. Again, if it's not visible, go to the others and come back to this same place. Once that is done, let's click on Control V to paste it, and that you have the student exam. Finish it off, and you have that. Let's look at what the next thing they have said is it has to extend out of student. So you have already created this student class here. I did it student here, and this student exam is supposed to extend out of student. So how do you do it? Is very simple. You just say extends. Again, if you look at here, I don't type the whole thing. I expect the NetBeans to complete it because I'm very sure that I'm going to make a spelling mistake. Okay, and you are going to do the same thing during the examination. So allow the NetBeans to fix the things for you. So you have created not the student exam. It is supposed to extend out of student. So this is what the university said, and what is the university say ask you to do it is you're supposed to create a student exam, and it is extending out of the previously created class student. So it gets extended out of student. And then they said that you have 3 marks and total. Let me fix that thing. I'm not going to copy paste it because you may feel bad that this person is always copy pasting it. So this time I'm going to write it. Okay, so I'll take the pain of creating 3 variables m1, m2, m3 for 3 marks and the total. That is what you're supposed to do it. So you are supposed to create this one, marks in 3 subject and total. Finally, they say that you are supposed to create a student result. Let me copy this. This time I'm going to do it because I'm used to it now. So let's go to the project and let's click on this project. Go down, right click on it to this package and then say new Java class. Okay, and then paste it. Okay, done. Student result is otherwise and again don't put space here. This is all common to you. You know it very well. In C also this is not going to work. Here also it's not going to work. So don't unnecessarily create a problem. Student result, it's a single word, student result. Click on it and finish it up. And what they say is you are supposed to expand it out of student exam and then create 2 more variables, that is percentage and grade. I mean 2 more members, percentage and grade. Okay, let me extend this. Let me extend this out of student exam. So this is extending out of student exam. So let me say this is student and exam. Okay, that's it. It is extending out of student exam. So in other words, you have created this class first, and then you extended it and you created this one. Now you are extending it and you are creating this. So you are extending things like anything. After that, you need 2 variables here, and that according to university is one is the percentage, the other one is let me take it, let me put a semicolon here, and let me say this is string grade. Okay, done. These 3 things are done within no time, and then they said define appropriate method to accept. So accept, what are the things you are supposed to accept? You are supposed to accept the ID and name and marks in 3 subjects. Okay, that is, even though it is not mentioned, you are supposed to accept it. Some student what will do is they will even accept the total percentage, grade and other things. Now if you accept everything, what is the use of creating a program? You have accepted everything. Okay, so just accept this marks and the ID and name. That's enough. Now where are these marks and ID and name? If you notice that marks is ID and name are there in the class student. It's there in the class student. And if you go to the student exam, you have 3 marks. If you look at the student exam, you have 3 marks. Now, you don't have the ID and name here and marks here, but you have grade and percentage here. Because you have extended it out, things are going to appear. All the variables of these things will appear. Okay, so how is it possible? Now, just to show you what is that I'm talking about, I'm going to just right click on the empty place. You don't need to do this during the examination. This is just for explanation. Right click and I'm going to go to the navigate and then say inspect hierarchy, and I'm going to just click on this, and you will notice that this is what it looks like. Now you know very well in Java the mother of all the classes is a class called as object, O in capital. That is why I said follow the convention. This is the mother of all the classes that you create in Java. It is automatically or implicitly inherited by all the classes, whether you like it or not. When you say class, Java just inherits it automatically out of a class called as excuse me, object. Then you have a student, which is what you have created, and this student is having the ID and the name. After this, you expanded it and then said student exam. Now student exam is an extension of this. That means you have the ID and name with you, because it's an extension, you get it. Okay, then you have 3 marks here and the total here. Finally you extended this and you set a grade and percentage. Okay, sorry, grade and percentage. Okay, done. Now this grade and percentage is an extension of student. That means you have ID and name. Grade is an extension of student exam. That means it has marks and the total. And definitely it has the percentage and grade with it. So that means all the things which are declared in the student is available to the student exam. All the things which are declared in student and student exam is available to the student result. So every variable that you created out of student and student exam will be available to your student result. So everything is available here. So I can write a method, let's say public. This method does not return anything, void, and I'm going to say get details, because or accept detail, whatever. The university has used one word there. Okay. Accept, they said, method to accept. Okay, so let me there one word I'm going to use it instead of get. Get is I think the most familiar one, but they said accept. So accept details or get details. Okay, the get is the most frequently used. Okay, get and set. These 2 words are being used, but I will use accept details. What is this? Accept details, or you can say set details instead of accept. Set detail. I think that I will use the short word, because I can type lengthier thing, but then in the examination, if you start typing very lengthy things, you will lose time and you won't get time for good things. So I'm going to say int ID, that is the first thing I want. String name, that's the second thing I want. And marks in 3 subject, int M1. I'm going to press enter here. It's not wrong if you do it. Remember, don't press enter in the middle of this one. After comma, if you do it, it is not wrong. And then int em2 and int m3. These 3 things you are supposed to get it. I'm going to put the flower bracket, press enter, and that is done. Okay, what is wrong with it now? Int m3. Sorry, I didn't type the m there. Int m3, int m1, m2, m3, all are done. Now let's set it. Now if you say, if you look at there, if you go to this student here, in the student you have id. Okay, student you have id, and here also you have id. Now suppose if you write like this, id equal to id, so id equal to id. Now if you just highlight, NetBeans actually will help you out and say that, let me get it in the previous line so that it looks like a method. Some of you may get confused. It looks like a method which takes terribly many variables. Okay. Now if you type id equal to id, you notice what NetBeans is going to do is, NetBeans is going to say that all these three things are same. This id, this id, this id is same. Okay, it is you are doing it, you are playing with the same variable. I want this id, the id which is there with the student class. I want to set the value here, not to this itself. So how am I going to do it? Okay, I am going to say this keyword, this, okay, not this one extra s, this dot id. If you notice that if I press I, the NetBeans will help you out. In fact, I am going to zoom out and show you. NetBeans will show you, are you talking about all the member variables? These are member variables. So I want to set it for this member variable, and now I am going to say id. And you notice now, if you keep the mouse cursor on this one, these two are equal. This is not getting highlighted and it comes in green color, indicating that this is a member variable. This is a member variable. Okay, done. So use the word this for doing it. One extra word, this dot name, again same story, is equal to name. Okay, so you notice this name and this name is same, and the other name is from the student. Done. Let's go ahead with the 3 marks now. Again you have to say this dot m1 is equal to m1. So you are setting the m1. Where is m1? M1 is in the StudentExam. You are setting this m1. Okay, and again this dot m2 is equal to m2, and this dot m3 is equal to m3. After this let's calculate the total. Now where is the total? Here. Now because you don't have a local variable called as total here, you can directly type the total. Now I'm going to just type the total. Remember, I have not declared total here. In this entire method there is no total, but the total is there in the StudentExam. So let me go and let me type that total here. You notice that it's going to come, once I complete it, you get the total equal to 10. If I do it, what is it going to do? You notice that it comes in green color, indicating that it says, I know that you are talking about the total which is declared in the StudentExam. Okay, but I have not used the word this here. I have not typed this. Even if you use this dot total, this is not wrong. Okay, but it is not required. Then you may ask the question, why are you then doing this? Why are you typing this here in this case? Here there is a conflict. There is a local variable id and there is a member variable id with the same name. Now I have to exclusively tell Java that which is the local variable and which is the member variable. If I don't tell, local variable have the preference. That means Java thinks that you are talking about this thing here within the class you are talking about. This not the id which is available elsewhere in some other class. So here I have to exclusively tell the Java that these are from the class side, or these are from the object part, these are from the local variable part. Here I don't have to tell. Now I am not supposed to say total is this. I am supposed to say total is m1 plus m2 plus m3. Done. Should I calculate the percentage here? I can calculate the percentage. Nobody will find fault. Now again, if I say percentage, where is this percentage? Percentage is here. You notice that green color is highlighting. Okay, this is, I don't have to say this dot percentage because there is no conflict unless and otherwise. It's like in your class, if you have two students with the name Ramesh, then it is always a problem. Who is this Ramesh? This person or that person? Suppose you have only one student with the name Suresh, then there is no problem. There is no conflict. Okay, so conflict comes when there are two variables with the same name in the same scope. Then you have to use the scope resolution and say that this is from that side, the other one is from this side, and so on. Okay, so let me calculate this total. I hope you get that thing. Total is because I assume that the marks are for 300. Now this will give me a error. The reason is the total, if you notice here, is integer. Notice that total is integer, and Java thinks that 300 is also an integer. Okay, now it will perform an integer division. Okay, and then if you just do the total, what happens is if you do this total, let's say you expect that let's assume that the total is 240. Let's assume that total is 240. You divide it by 300. These are all integer division. What is the answer of this? Answer of this is 0.24. Now what's the integer part of it is 0. Java simply takes it as 0. So be careful when you are doing this integer division. Sometimes the Java does something that you didn't expected it to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the percentage. What is a percentage? If you want, you multiply it. Some people do it like this, and then say into 100 because it is percentage. Now whether you do it like this and waste your time in typing this bracket, or if you type like this, this is going to work fine because the star and the division has the same precedence. In that case, this will be performed first, followed by the division. Okay. Now, in order to avoid the unnecessary problem, I'm going to put dot 0. Now, what you say, you may ask the question, why sir you are doing this dot 0? When I put dot 0, 300 dot 0, it assumes that this is a fraction. That means it is a floating point number. Now it will perform the floating point operations on it. Okay, this may not be required because you may get the result, but I don't want to take a risk on it. I just say 300.0. That means to say this is a double. So integer division by double, the result is double itself. Okay, it will give the fractions. Done with that. Now you are supposed to calculate the grade. Now here what they said is you are supposed to calculate the grade. So I will create a method called as calculate grade or compute grade. The reason is some examiners will simply say that this word was there, you are asked to calculate the grade. You can type the grade calculation here itself. In this class only, in this method only you can type it, but some examiners they find fault with the student. They say that no, they said you are supposed to calculate the grade. Where is that grade calculation? To satisfy them, I'm going to create a new variable called as a new method called as compute grade, so that they are also happy. And you say that okay, where grade computation is here. Okay, this method I'm doing the grade computation. What is that you are supposed to do it? Very simple thing. If a student has failed in any one of them, I assume that 35 is the passing mark. Okay, if you have failed in not you, the others, you will pass definitely. So if that student has failed in any one of them, so if the marks 1, marks 2 or marks 3, again this marks 1, marks 2, marks 3 are coming from not this class, they are coming from student class. Okay, so they are from the other class. So if any one of, again I have not put the this here because there is no conflict. I hope you get that story. So if there is no conflict, if there are no students with a name Aishwarya, now that was a famous name once upon a time. So all in the class 5-6 students had the same name called Aishwarya. So then the problem will come, who is the Aishwarya, the first one, the second one or the last one. So this now there is no problem because you have M1, M2, M3. So if you know very well, if a person gets less than 35 in any of this subject, then this grade is failed. Not failed, just enough. Else if now it is the story. If you get the percentage, let me go for the percentage. If you get the percentage is less than, if your percentage is less than 50%, let me assume that now I don't know what university has. The university has a different grade now. I think they have the ABCD. Anyhow, the grade is third class. Okay, assume that it's a third class. Now I'm not going to type this else if again and again. I know Control C and Control V will do the magic for me. So I'll just copy it and then say if it is less than 60%, if it is greater than, if it is less than 50, you would have come here. It is greater than 50 but less than 60, then I'm going to say this is second class. Again, I have already pasted it, copied it. I'm going to paste it one more time. It is less than 75. That means it is first class. And finally I have the else part. It just says that the grade is a distinction. Done. I'm done with it. Now I'm going to call this method in the here itself. So how do I call this method? I'm going to say compute. I just created this compute grade. So what is that I am doing? I am just calling this method. After calculating the percentage, I ask it to compute the grade. Now why did I wasted my time in creating a method? Because they have said in the question compute grade. This is an exclusive word that they have used, compute grade. So I don't have a choice. Then finally I am supposed to display the details. Okay, so let me write that method. This is compute grade is over. Keep the, you see the, whenever you're doing it, just keep the mouse cursor here. It will say where this method is ending with the highlight, and then press enter and then say public void display details. I'm supposed to display all the details. I will display the entire details in one line at a time. So I'm going to say system.out.println, and then I'm going to print the name. I start with the ID first. ID plus I will separate by a tab plus name. So it is a tab separation. So you didn't get what I'm trying to do is I'm going to type like this 101 and a tab. Let me say that and a tab, and just say Suresh and a tab, and marks in a few subject tab, marks in the other subject tab, and marks in the other subject tab. So it looks great. So that's what I'm trying to do. That is what I'm putting after everything. After ID I am putting a tab, then I'm putting the name. I'm going to do the same thing, so here onwards. So for everything I'm going to put the tab here, /t for the tab, and then what else you have, marks M1. Okay. I'll take it to the, I'll press enter. Remember, don't press enter at wrong places, not inside this. At plus sign you can do it, there is no problem. Just to make show you that what I'm typing, otherwise it will go beyond the screen. Okay, that's what I'm doing it. You can type it in a single line. M2 plus tab. I'm now printing, trying to display the 3 marks here, and M3 plus, and let me take you to the next line. Remember, I am doing it so that otherwise it will go beyond the screen. You can type it straight line. Okay, but I'm going to make it straight once I type everything. So 3 marks are over, and then what else I am supposed to do it. After 3 marks, I am supposed to use /t, and then I am supposed to say total plus tab, and then grade plus oh sorry, I forgot this, percentage was there. percentage, okay, plus let me take it to next line. Okay, you can type everything in this tab should be there. If I talk, I will forget that tab was there. Then what else was there? Tab was there, and tab after this, grade was there, grade. Okay, I think that's all you need. ID, name, M1, M2, M3, grade. Now after percentage I will just put to double tab. Why, I will tell you. To make the adjustment, I did it once, so I know that things won't appear neat. So this time, only thing I'm doing is I pressed enter, so I'm getting it back. I am pressing backspace and taking it back. I'm pressing it backspace and taking it back, just to prove it to you that you can type it like this also. Okay, there is nobody is Java is will not find fault with you. So everything is separated by a tab. Every variable is separated by a tab. Every variable is separated by a tab, but last one I am separating it with a double tab. So two tabs are there. That's all you're supposed to do it. You have done the hierarchy. So everything is been done. Now let's look at the other thing what they said is you are supposed to get the details for n student. Now I'm going to go to the static void main method. You can type the static void main method here itself, but NetBeans has taken the pain and it has given me the static void main in the first class that it created. So this was the class that it created, and you notice that there is a place symbol here saying that it contains main method. So if you double click, you will come back to here, or if it will be available here itself. So let's create a few things. Now remember, whether I create for one student or n students here, they said you need all those details. So first I will take up the n student. So this is what they said, n student. Okay, so let me get that variable n first, and then I'm going to do it. I'm in the static void main method, and I'm going to say int n. Then I need ID. I need marks in first subject. For if I want to read it, I need marks in second subject, marks in three subject, and I'm supposed to calculate the total. And this is what I'm supposed to do it. Also, I am supposed to calculate the percentage. Okay, PER enough. Okay, percentage, that's enough for percentage. And I am supposed to get the name of the student, and I am supposed to do that. Now you may say that. Now out of this, you may say that for any student you are supposed to do it. Out of this, total is not required because you are going to calculate it. Pull it out. Percentage is not required because you are going to calculate it. Okay, grade is not required because you are going to calculate it. Okay, they are not required. So how many variables are required? The n, because they said you are supposed to get the n details of the n students. So that's it. Then ID is required because I'm going to read that ID. Okay. And what is this? Yeah, M1, M2, M3 is required, and name is required. That's all. Okay. Let me, and definitely I need a scanner. Okay, I'm going to say SCANNER from the java.utilities. Now if you are in love with the notepad, you have to import this statement. Okay, notepad will not do that. NetBeans will, when you select and press enter, NetBeans will add that import statement for you. SC is equal to new scanner, SCA, and control space it, scanner, and I'm going to take the system dot in. That's it. I got it. Okay, so let me use S out, and I'm going to say enter the value of n. They said n there, so enter the value of n. Okay, I'm going to remove this print ln here because I want it to come in the straight line, not in the next line. And I'm going to use the n is equal to sc dot next int. Okay, I got the n here. Now if you get this n here, you are supposed to get the details for n student. That is what they are expecting it. N student. Okay, where are those n students? So that you are missing here. So what are you going to do? You are going to create an array for this n students. So it is not integer array, it is an array of student, what is that, exam. So I will call it as a yes. Remember, I'm not initializing it. This is an array for that to store n students. So it is not one student. They said don't go for one student. Create the details for n students. So you are going to create the details for n number of students. This is student 1, student 2, student 3, and so on. That is why I have created a array here that is going to store that. Now, how many elements will be there in the array? During the declaration, I have not done it. So let me now say that, because I know the value of n here. Now I am going to say s is equal to new student student exam. Okay, it will, Java will do some other purposing, and it will say m3 should be there. It is not m3, it is n, because you accepted n. It is an array of n students. So if n is 3, if you input n is equal to 3, you are going to create a array of 3 elements. First element has an index 0, second one has index 1, and the third one has index 2. Okay. If n is 5, if you have accepted n is equal to 5, you will get array of 5 students. So this is what you have done. Now I am going to accept the details for all of them. So let me zoom in for you, and I'm going to use the for and press tab here. That means we'll use the for loop for I is equal to 0, I less than n, not 10, because we are accepting 10 here. So let me show the something here, s out. Okay, and I'm going to say somewhere here. Okay, and let me put one tab also here. That makes I'm just doing formatting, so called as. Okay, enter the details for student number, and let's say plus I plus 1. Now if you are wondering what is this person is doing, I am just making the things appear beautiful. Okay, so what is that I'm going to say is, when I run this program, it's going to appear like this: enter the details for student number 1. Remember, I is equal to 0 now. If you just print I here, it is going to show 0 here. Student is 0, it is not. If you don't put this bracket, remember, if you don't put the bracket, first it will concatenate I, then it will think that it is the I value is 0, then it will come 0 1, like this it's going to come. Next time it's going to come 0 2, like this. Okay, not 2, 0 2. Next time it's going to come 1 1, because I value will be 1. Next time I value is 2, then 2 1, like this. It will concatenate. So you have to first ask the Java to do this calculation first and then concatenate. So that's why that bracket, bracket is there to change the precedence. So that's why I put I plus 1 in the bracket. Okay, done. Maybe you can use a s out. Remember, don't do this kind of thing during the examination. This is just for making things neat output. Okay, if you don't have anything else to be done, then you do this. Okay. Suppose you completed it much faster, then do it. Okay. Now let's accept the first one. So I'm going to say ID. Now here I'm going to remove this ln. I want after this I want everything to come in one line. Ln is not really required. So I'm going to say ID is equal to SC is my scanner, next int is my number. Then I'm going to say yes out, and I'm going to say name. Okay. Again, I don't want ln here. Okay. I want it to come in straight line, not in the next line. And I'm going to say name equal to sc dot next line. Now there is one minor problem with it. This is not the problem of Java alone. This is a problem with almost all programming language. Suppose if you read a number, for example, if you type the ID as 101, after this you will press enter. So what happens is from the buffer, this is taken and it is stored in the ID, but that enter is still there in the buffer. Now next, if you read a string, you know this is character 13, it will simply accept that character 13 here and it will not wait for here. Okay, so what is the workaround is once always remember that if you are reading a text after or a string after a number, the enter will be there, just clear it. There are a lot of ways to clear it. One of the simplest way and the most easy to remember way is read the next excuse me, read the next line. Okay, that's it. Read one line. This is after reading, you are, where are you storing? I don't want to store anything. That enter sign is in the buffer. Now I want to get rid of that enter sign. Just read that and put it in dustbin. That's it. Don't store anywhere. Just let it read it. Just clear the buffer. Okay. This you have to remember. Otherwise, it will not wait for the name. Okay. So that is the part. Let's go for the yes out and let's say I want the marks 1, marks 1. Should I say mark 1, marks 1? I don't want a ln here, so I'm going to just leave it here. M1 is equal to SC dot next. This was integer, done, and I will not waste my time in typing this because I need M1, M2, M3. So marks 2 is marks 2. Press enter. I'm copied and I'm pasting it. Okay, so that's simple as that. You did everything is done. Once that is done, let's go to the, now I have created and I have not yet created anything. I have just created all the details for the student. Let me store that thing in the student. So how do I go to do it? Now I have this array here, and in the first location of the array I am going to store this student object there. How do I do that? So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say yes is my array here. If you notice, I created yes here. Yes is my array. So I'm going to say yes yes of I is equal to, I have to create a new student, student exam, student exam. Okay. Then I'm going to say yes of I. This is for the ith student. I am putting the value for the ith student. I have the different method. What is that different method? I'm going to say set. What was the student exam? What was the method that I had here? Is set details. Okay, I get that set. I'm not getting that. Thank you. Okay. Even though I have set it inside here, it is not taking up. Student exam. So student is not. Sorry, I created a wrong thing here. Sorry about that. This is not student exam. Where is it gone? It is sorry. This is what's that? This is not student exam. Sorry about that. This I thought this is student exam. The last one was student result. Everything is there in the student result. One small adjustment here, and that is let me go to static void main here, and by mistake I have taken it as student exam, not this student exam. This is the one that I'm supposed to take. Let me change it here. Just one small change. The class is not student exam, it is student result. Okay, student result here, as well as when I create here, it is not student exam, it is student the last one, student result. I have everything in the student result. I thought Everything was there in the student exam. It is not in the student exam, it is in the student result. So changes that I've done here is first one, when I declare it, I created an array of student exam, but it is student result. This is student result. This one has all the methods. Student exam has nothing. It's just a plain. So that's why that means also said I am not getting anything. You are simply calling some method which is not there. So it is student result. Kindly make note of it. Student result. It is this class student result, as well as when you create an instance of it, student result. That's why I was not getting anything there. So let me put a set and let's say si dot. What was that method? Student result. Where is student result? Si dot. It's done. Let me save everything. Okay, done. Si dot set. What was it? Here? Set details. Set details. Now, because I done the mistake, it has pre-compiled it, and I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the where is my run here, and I'll go to this run, and I will ask it to clean and rebuild. Okay. Clean and rebuild. This option will be there. Shift F11. Okay, and maybe I will rebuild the entire. Then it will say, okay, now it cannot build it because there is a compile error. Okay, let me do it, and let's go here and let's say clean and rebuild. That's done. Now SFI dot, I'm going to say set. So it is not making me take that thing. So take it. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a student. I don't need to do that thing. I'm not convinced with what it is trying to do. Now, if you look at here, and if I press this one, I'm not getting that method here. What is the reason? The reason is I have to make one more correction. Again, sorry, extremely sorry about that. I have declared the variable as student exam, and I'm supposed to declare it as student result. See, one minor mistake could lead to hazard. Okay. So this was everywhere it is student result. So I declared it as a student exam. Okay, so student result. So sorry, this is student result. This is also student result, and finally this is also student result. Okay, everything is student result. I when I put the dot, I was not getting anything. The reason I was wondering what is going wrong. Then I suddenly realized that that variable that I've just created here, this variable is also should be of a student result. Otherwise, the parent can point to the child, so it will not give you that method. So this is also student result. Just kindly note, this is also student result. I thought this is the class. Student exam was the class, but there was one other class called as student result. Last class. So student result, and student result. So all are student result. Now I'm going to go here si dot, and I'm going to say set details. This is the method set details, and in 99% of the time NetBeans will do the needful thing, but always remember, just cross verify. In this set result, you have the ID first, name first, M1, M2, M3 next, whether it is doing the same thing, ID first, name, and M1, M2, M3. That done, everything is done. So you have set that the thing. That's it, you are supposed to do it. So you are going to accept the details for n student. After that, leisurely I'm going to print everything. So after this, I've come out of this for loop. I've come out of this for loop. After I come out of this for loop, I'm going to say yes out, and I'm going to just print maybe dash dash dash, maybe very lengthy dash, because I have to print many things here. So I'm going just to say yes out, and I think I will use two tab separation here, so that it will come not just one below the other. After two, not two tab, two line separation. Did I use the tab separation here previously? No, this is line separation. After two line separation. So otherwise the things the output will come one below the other. Okay, so I don't want that thing to happen. And then I'm going to say roughly at the middle, I'm going to say students details. Okay, so roughly here in the middle, and I'm going to copy this, Control C, and I'm going to paste it, Control V, done. Then I'm going to use a for loop, done. For I is equal to 1 to n, I'm going to call s of I dot display details. That's it. And finally I'm going to paste this one also. I don't want double dash line out here. So mine, this is all formatting I'm doing it. It's going to come in. I'm going to show you what it is trying to do. Is it's going to get it in a neat way. That's it. So this is what I've done. You will get double lines, then the student details and one double line, and then all the student details, and finally the double line. This I'm doing it. Slash n I'm doing it here also. Slash n I'm doing it just to make the things appear neatly, so that it is there is a marks for formatting. So I'm doing that. Let me run it, and the program says enter the value of n. I'm going to just take 3, press enter, and you say enter the details for the first student number 1. This is what you are getting it. Enter, where is this? Enter the value of n. You got it in the same line. I've used print, not print line, that is why it is coming. Then you notice that this slash n will generate one line separation here, otherwise it will touch the previous line. It won't look nice. So I've used this slash n. So every time slash n and it comes down. So let me start with the ID 101. Name I'll take it as money, and marks I think marks I'll take it as I think when I talk and do it, I should have used a colon here. Okay, like how you use the colon. Otherwise, you know, if I type the marks here, it will appear as if I even type 35, it will appear as 135. So that colon, when I talk and do it, I sometimes forget to put that thing. So I assume that it is there. I will rerun it again. Okay, marks 2 is 34, marks 3 is say 46. Okay, this is not 346. I think I will put that colon and run it for you, so that it is easier. I'm going to just cut this program by clicking on the cut here. So I will cut this program, and let me cut that program. Allow me to cut that program. Okay, and then I'll cut it. Okay, and say yes. Stop the program. I'm just doing, this is all formatting. It is not nothing else to be done. Just a formatting, so that the things will appear neat. Otherwise, it looks a bit difficult to visualize. So I put a colon and a space separation, so that this space is also shown there. Okay, so it appears nice. Otherwise, the things appear a bit odd. So let's start with the first part. You see there, when I say accept the value of n, I actually use this the value there. Accept the value of n. Okay, so let me show the output. You see the accept the value of n, and it looks neat. Okay, I accept the value of n is 3. Now enter the details for, let me zoom in for you. 101 is the first one. Name is money, and you notice now the difference. Marks 1 colon So this is because of that. Marks 1 colon. So it looks neat. Otherwise, so let's assume that first subject is failed, second one is some marks is there, and I expect the failed grade to come. Again, you notice after entering the first student, there is a line separation, and that line separation came because I used /n here. The /n makes that. Now this is all formatting that I am doing it, so that they said in the program they said accept and show display the details of n student. So that's why I am showing it neatly, so that it looks beautiful. Okay, 102 and say Manish, and let me say he is a distinction student. Okay, and let's say 89. Okay, and you notice one line separation. You see this line separation, and all this line separation is because of one character /n, and then you say enter the details for the student number. So details for the student number 103, and say Manisha. Okay, she is first class student, let's say 67, 70, 72. Done, and you notice how is it going to come. Okay, everything is fine, no problem. You see it is coming properly. You see this the result, that's what I told you. Two line separation. You notice that /n, two lines, then the details, student details, then the student details, and the details, and all the details, and only one problem here is it is coming 55.3333%. Okay, percentage is too much of a problem, and let me fix that one. Okay, how do I do that? I'm going to format this one. I'm going to go here, and when I'm displaying it, when I display the percentage, I'm going to display it as a string. So I'll start like this. See here, I'm going to say string dot format, string dot format, and you have used the C program. I'm going to use percentage dot to f. You know, point 2 means to f, and what is the argument? Argument is this percentage. So I put the percentage inside string dot format. So this percentage which was there, I have just said plus percentage. Instead of that, I'm going to say string dot percentage. One other thing that these are all formatting. One other thing that I've noticed here is it is not showing me the header. Somehow I forgot. When I talk, I forgot. This is not showing me the header. I'm supposed to show the header, I think. Let me show that header. What is it? What is, somebody may ask the question, external exam, what is 101? It's ID. What is Manish and the name? Marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. That part I've just forgotten. Okay, because I got stuck there, because one, you know, when you get stuck with something, you get upset. So here, before showing the for loop, I'll show one other thing. Yes out, and I'm going to show the details. That is ID /t tab separation, name /t, that is tab separation. That is the header, that heading line that I'm showing. Name marks 1, mark 1, marks 1, I think, /t marks 2, /t marks 3, /t. I'm going to type it straight away, and the next one is total /t grade /t. I think I need 2 /t. Let's see, /t. If it is going down, just remove that. Going beyond, then remove that grade. Okay, that's it. And I want one more line separation here. So something very, I'm going to say format so that it looks like this. Okay, this is the heading, and then finally everything. So this is the last run. I'm going to do it. So let's run it. Let's run it. Not show the output. Let's run it. for the last time. Okay, so let me start with the same thing. Three students were there. First student has ID 101, and first student is money, and failed in say passed in first subject and failed in second subject, and then maybe passed in third subject. This is a failed result. Then 102, and then I have Manish, who is a distinction student, and this Manish is a distinction, and I have Manish, and oh, sorry, I'm doing it fast because I'm running out of time. I've already consumed too much of time on this video, so I just want to finish it off. I'm rerunning it because I made a mistake. Instead of ID, I typed Manisha. Okay, let me try it 101, and money, and first subject is passed, I think, and second subject is also passed. Third subject I'm making it fail, and that is 102. Manisha, what was it? Manish. Okay. I think I with the distinction only. Then Manisha. Here, last time I just typed Manisha. There I am supposed to type the ID. Okay, I'm bit doing it fast now because I'm running out of time. I have to go to college now. So 90, and Manisha is a distinction. She is a first class student. 74, 71, and 73. Not distinction, but first class. Okay, press enter, and I think you got it. Okay, so you got the output, student details, and the grade, and you notice that it is a two decimal places with all the details. That's all in this video. Thank you, and sorry in between I got stuck for something. Thank you for viewing this video.